Well, here we are. It's Halloween again. One of my favorite days that we celebrate. Yes, along with the 4th of July because we blow stuff up. Thanksgiving because we eat too much. Yeah, although I'm not big on turkey, but Halloween, yeah. I just love scaring small children and eating candy. Yeah, my familiar here, Gracie, has stroked up here for Halloween. She's not a black cat, but definitely a cat familiar, I'll tell you that. Yeah. If I was in Salem and they saw this cat following me around, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it wouldn't be good. They might be burning me. Well, yeah, I guess Reverend Gary Davis. One of the songs that he was known for was Death Don't Have No Mercy. I played it. I may even have a recording of it on YouTube. Obviously, the Grateful Dead, they made quite a recording out of that one. Everybody who follows the Dead around knows Death Don't Have No Mercy in this land. Yeah. And then again, truth be told, I really should know the origin of the band name, The Grateful Dead. I don't. I meant to look it up and see if I could get smarter. I really should know it, though, because the band was originally the Warlocks, okay, before Jerry Garcia joined the band. And the original guitarist for the Warlocks was Troy Weidenheimer. And I used to jam with Troy Weidenheimer almost every weekend after he left the Warlocks, okay? And Garcia filled in. The band became the Grateful Dead. I never did ask Troy how it got that name, but looking at the original name, the Warlocks, I guess we can figure it comes out of something weird and creepy. It's an odd concept, isn't it? Yeah, it's an odd concept, the Grateful Dead. Yeah, and so Phil Lesh just passed. Yeah, one of my guys. I like Phil Lesh. They all go, sooner or later. And so, death. That's the subject on Halloween. Because on Halloween, what's so much of it all about? The little turnips they used to carve and put a light in the windows in Ireland and places, that was to scare away the evil spirits. Maybe they were ghosts, I don't know, but some sort of phantom that we're worried about, Now we got, of course, there's the undead. These days we got zombies and we got Dracula, they're the undead. But again, it's all worried about this dead thing. And sort of a similar type of a celebration, the south of the border, we got the Day of the Dead. Now that's a bit different than north of the border. There's candy involved and skeletons and dressing up and all that and celebrating. But in that case, they're the spirits of the ancestors are coming back to visit. This is mostly a Catholic tradition that the spirits of the ancestors will hang around to make sure the living are safe and whatever, Yeah, that they hang around. That's kind of a belief there. And so it's kind of a pleasant thing. You're inviting your dead grandpa in, You leave stuff out for the dead to eat and so on. Halloween is more repelling. I don't know. It's a very complicated history, and I'm not planning to go there, but certainly we all can see that it's based on things that are dead. Yeah, sure it is. Well, as a guy, death has never been an issue, really, to me. I have experienced an NDE, which will change your viewpoints as near-death experiences more than once, actually. But I see it as door in, door out. Yeah. And as far as death and mercy, nah, I know death pretty well. We hang out every morning while I'm sitting in my chair drinking coffee, watching the sunrise. Yeah, sitting. No, death's got a schedule. It's got an agenda. But as far as having emotion, not in our sense. So it's nothing vengeful here. It's just a simple act by a workman. Yes. Yeah, death may as well wear a gray work suit and carry a pail to the time clock every day. That's sort of the functionality of it. Now, I'm referring to death, as an entity, and I do see it that way. It's not just you fall over one of these days. There's something here that snares souls and moves them around as a soul redistribution system. And death, whether it's the angel of death or whatever, our general impression of it is very negative. I don't really have that impression. Gratefully, I will look forward to it one of these days because body's breaking, man. Yeah, it gets old. Yeah, it gets old. And when it's worn out, I'm ready to leave it behind and, try something new. I do not believe death is the end. But, when it comes to graveyards, yeah, I like graveyards. That is, I enjoyed them for the thrill as a teen, especially the really old abandoned ones, the creepy places. Very thrilling. Enjoyed it. Yeah, so much. But when it comes to visiting one to see the dead family or being entombed in one, well, as a kid, they used to drag me into graveyards in Indiana to see grandma's family members, and never liked it. I always associate Italian cypress trees with graveyards because of that. That's about the only thing they planted around them things. But yeah, that's about the last thing I could think of that I'd want done with my remains at the end of this cycle. That somebody dig a hole and put me in there and then stick a marker on it and never touch it again. That's sacred ground. See, this is a problem I have with it. I think that we shouldn't be wasting space in graveyards with dead people. We could be growing corn or peaches on the same territory. Yeah, I don't see it. Because once you begin to entomb people in the soil, it's sacred ground. It's holy. We got all these belief systems around it, and it really doesn't matter, whether it's a Western European culture or what culture it is. Terrible problems, with Evie Capuna here, the remains of the past, people started any kind of a project and come up with a bone. Look out. Yeah. It's like that. And, other people and their belief systems and all that, I don't want to diss anybody. I'm just talking about me. Me, I think it's pretty darn dumb. Plant corn. Why plant corpses? There's so much land. I look around and I see so much land. One of these days, maybe we might get wondering why we made all that sacred ground for corpses. Yeah. Last thing I want to see is when I get ready to pass or I pass away is everybody goes, oh, I'm going to make sure that I'm a perfect jerk as we get to the end so that everybody goes, boy, am I glad he's gone. Okay? Yeah, it's really my wish. I don't want people, have a party. Yeah, get loaded. Take a long neck bottle of prime beer, shake it up and shoot it into space because that's where I went to, Life's like that. Poof, the bottle's over, the bubbles leave. Celebrate. Yeah, and then they take my ashes, and I really want most people to know where the heck they ended up. If I had a grave marker, then most of the Trump supporters would probably come by to urinate on my grave. I don't want that either, okay? So I take my ashes and spread them under the orange trees out here. Don't tell anybody which one. They'll know anyway. Yeah, because I'd be pulling oranges off the tree and take a bite out of them and go, wow, crappy tasting orange. What? Oh, what's wrong with this tree? Yeah, Bill asked us to spread his ashes under that tree. Fruit's never been any good ever since. Happy Halloween. Aloha, y'all hang loose. You gonna say hello to everybody for Halloween? Are you a Halloween cat? I didn't dress you up, you know. Yeah, you don't want to be dressed up, do you? You can try. But anyway, Gracie says happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween.